Alright guys, in this video we're going to take a look at lists and tables. So let's create a new file and we're going to call it 06 underscore lists underscore tables.html. And let's add in our boilerplate here, close that up, lists and tables. Okay, so we have a couple different types of lists. So we have unordered lists. And unordered lists, they're not numbered. Basically, they have bullet points, which of course you can remove with CSS. You can have different types of bullet points. But let's go ahead and create an unordered list. So we want to put a UL tag, and then each item in the list should be wrapped in a list item, an LI tag. So let's go ahead and just say item 1. And what I'll do is I'll hold down Shift and Option or Shift and Alt and just hit the down arrow so that we can bring these down. And let's change that to 2, 3, and 4. And we'll save this, Control S, and then let's open this with Live Server. And there we go. So that's what it's going to give us. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit on the HTML so you can see this better. Should have probably did that a while ago. And notice that the bullets are here, and like I said, these can be removed through CSS. We can also have different types of bullets. This isn't something that I would recommend, but you can use a style tag to change CSS attributes. And there's something called a list style. And we have circle, square. Let's see, let's change it to a square. And save, and now you can see that each bullet is a square. We have disk. Save that. That's the default. Circle. Save that, so that's kind of an unfilled circle. And then we also have, actually I think that's it, and then we have none. Alright, and this is something that I would not recommend doing. You want to put all your styling in your CSS style sheet. But I just wanted to give you an example of this. So let's get rid of that. So that's an unordered list. At the same time, we have ordered lists. And I'm going to give you another little Emmet trick here. So first of all, it's an OL tag. And then we still use LIs. Okay, we still use list items, whether it's ordered or unordered. Now with Emmet, let's say I want to have 4 list items. I can actually do times, so I could put an asterisk, 4, and hit tab, and it'll actually give me 4 list items. Okay, so a little tip there. And we can fill these in. We'll say item 1, item 2, item 4. And we'll save that, and now notice that instead of bullets we actually have numbers. Okay, so it's a numbered list. And then we can change the type as well. So there's a type attribute. So basically type 1 is the default. If I save that, you'll see no change. That's just numbers. We can use type uppercase A. If I save that, it'll change it to uppercase letters. If we use lowercase a as the type, it'll be lowercase letters. We can use uppercase I, which will actually do uppercase Roman numerals. Lowercase I will do lowercase Roman numerals. So just to let you know that you can add the type attribute. Ordered list is something that I almost never use. Unordered list is something you're going to use all the time because they're used for navigation menus, whether it's a horizontal nav bar or if it's a side menu or anything like that. So we can also have nested lists. So let's actually copy this. So I'm going to just Control C, copy this UL here, and Control V will paste that in. And let's say we want to have a list within a list. So inside this LI, this second one, let's get rid of that. Actually, we'll keep that, but next to it, I'm going to go on a new line, and I'm going to put another UL inside here, and let's put a LI, and we'll say nested item 1, okay, and then we'll do nested item 2, and let's save that. And now you can see that these 2 items are nested, and it automatically changes the bullet point here to a circle, changes it from a disk to a circle. So lists are pretty simple. Styling them is a whole new level when you start to get into creating navigation bars and stuff like that. But we'll get into that later on when we start to deal with CSS. All right, so let's talk about tables. Okay, so tables are used for tabular data. Now, back in the day, back in, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, people would actually use tables for website layout before we had proper CSS, before we had Flexbox and the grid system and frameworks and stuff like that. People would actually would have like their sidebar and their main content area in their website be a table, which is absolutely horrible. You never want to do anything like that. You only want to use tables for tabular data. Okay, if you have a list of users or whatever it may be, just some kind of data. So to create a table, we want to put a table tag, and in a table we have a head, a body, and we can also have a footer if we want. I don't usually use footers, but for the head, we're going to say T-head, okay? And we want a table row. And inside the table row, we want some columns, but when it's a heading, you want to use TH, okay, for table head. And let's do first name, and then we'll bring this down twice by holding Control Option or Control Alt and hit the down arrow twice. And we'll change this to, let's say, last name. And let's do email. Okay, now if I save this, you'll see that these are our headings. Okay, so these are the headings, and then we want the data underneath. So the data is going to go in the T body. Okay, so we have our table head, and then our table body, which will also have table rows. But instead of TH, we want to use TD. Okay, TH is only for the heading. And then we'll say, let's do John, bring down 2 more. So Doe would be the last name, and email. Okay, if I save that, and there we go. So we have first name, we have one entry here, or one row with it, which is John Doe, and then his email. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole table row, and let's do 2 more. Probably want to fix this up a little bit. And we'll go ahead and change up some of this data. So we'll say Kate Smith, Kate Jeff. All right, so we'll save that, and now we have 3 rows in our table. Okay, so pretty simple. If we want to, we could change the width. Now, I would suggest doing this stuff through CSS, but just to show you we can use the style attribute, and we can say width, I don't know, 600 pixels, and now it's wider. And it's more readable like that. But again, I would suggest not using the style attribute. That's not good practice. But we haven't gotten into CSS yet. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at forms and input fields.